Okay, I wanted to make a quick video because I couldn't find one on YouTube that kind of explained what I was looking for, but I'm kind of big into the home automation thing, the little devices and stuff that you swap and you get your Amazon Alexa to control and all that. I kind of like the routines and convenience. And anyway, I've only been living in my house for about a year, and this is the sprinkler controller the previous owner had put in. And it's a good one. I mean, it works fine. I only have 3 zones on my house. Most of them are drip lines. But to buy a sprinkler controller that integrates with your home automation stuff, your Amazon or your Google, they're kind of expensive. But I'm a real big fan of these Sonoff devices. I've got a couple of single ones I spliced into a few lamps around the house. I've got a hot water recirculation pump, or instant hot water pump that I wanted to put on one, so I spliced it into its power cord. And they work really well, and they're very inexpensive. But I could not find a YouTube video on an example where somebody used this exact one as a sprinkler controller. So I'm going to make one. And it's really easy. This thing, I'm feeding it with 12 volt DC in that. It goes right to this power supply right here. This power supply is actually the power supply from this controller, but I kept that, and you can see right here I've got the wire from that power supply looping in to the common leg that goes out to all the individual sprinkler controllers, and then the other end of the Hunter power supply, you can see, goes into the common on that first relay. And then I've got it daisy chaining to the second and to the third. I've only got 3 zones. And so what this does is it lets me set schedules, have my sprinklers come on, turn off. I can set pretty advanced schedules. The only thing I would caution about if you use one of these for a sprinkler controller is if you manually come out here and turn one of your sets on. I'll play with 4 because I don't have a 4th set. It won't turn off until I tell it to turn off. And so if you tell your Alexa to run sprinkler set 2 or whatever, if you forget to turn it off, you're screwed. So I would just advise you to just use the scheduling part of it, which it's really easy. And also make sure that you go into this, if you do decide to use one of these Sonoff devices as a sprinkler controller, and they're only like 28 bucks, I would open the thing up, and there's a dip switch in there that you need to change. I think the switch set is K5, but you change them all to 1 instead of 0. You flip all the dip switches on, and that lets you run, and I'll just do it. You can run all your zones at once if you want to, if that's your thing. You can turn every zone on if you've got pressure and you don't care if that's what you use it for. Other than that, if you don't do those dip switches, when you turn one on and then you go to turn a second one on, a second relay on, then the first one shuts off. They're interlocked. And so you don't want it in interlocked mode if you're doing it that way. But anyway, just use my factory sprinkler wire that was hooked to it, or the stuff that was in my house. These are extra zones that I'm not using. And you can see my zone 3 is green, blue, and then red for my zone 1. So it sucks that I have to have 2 power supplies plugged into the power strip here, but I mean, what do you do? I guess I could have gotten the high voltage version of this. I'd have still ended up with 2 power cords. Or I could have landed like a regular 110 AC to there. It doesn't matter. To me, it makes so much more sense to only spend 28 bucks and have to deal with 2 outlets than to buy a Wi-Fi or smart version of one of these at 100 to 180 bucks. It seems pretty stupid. Anyway, that's my video. You can definitely use this bad boy as a sprinkler controller, and I recommend it.